Hello everyone, this is Sophiana, and this is part 2 of my discussion on Christopaganism. I'm starting to think that maybe I can't fit this into one video because, like, try as I might, I just can't do it. I'm too long-winded. So anyway, this is less of a personal exposition on my beliefs and more of how you can incorporate paganism into Christianity, or even the other way around. A lot of people, a lot of pagans even, feel that they need a little bit more of a traditional Christian influence on their spirituality at some point, and I think that's good. I mean, it's good to be eclectic and to think for yourself and to listen to your inner voice. More about that later. I'm probably gonna make that like a theme of the video. Anyway, a lot of people might think, why would you want to combine Christianity and paganism? How do you plan on doing that when the two are so obviously opposed to each other? They're not compatible. But actually, I believe that they're pretty compatible. Over the years, we've seen them combine a lot. Christianity's roots in general are just kind of pagan. The myth of Jesus, and I personally believe that Jesus existed and that he was at the very least a teacher when it comes to literal things. However, the mythology behind Jesus as a god were taken largely from different solar deities and grain gods, sort of like the grain man, or the general sacrificial god that represented the harvest especially. And it's the idea that a god or a king falls, he dies, in order to have his people live. And Jesus is just one of many figures that did that. And his teachings were wonderful, and you can read all about those in the New Testament. But as for the divinity, like I said, it's largely pagan influenced, and whether or not it actually happened is irrelevant. The point is that it's an important thing to believe because so many people believe it, whether they call themselves Christians or not. Anyway, and also we have seen like a lot of religions spring up from the combination between Christianity and paganism. Ones like Santeria and Voodoo, which take the traditional religious views of Latin America or South America and Africa respectively and combine them with Christianity. And people still belong to those religions today. There's also Celtic Christianity, which as far as I know is more Catholic than not, but it still incorporates a lot of earth reverence in the practice as well. Catholicism in general has a lot of maybe not, probably pagan influence, but at the very least things in it, like beliefs in it, that could combine easily with paganism, such as the belief in a pantheon of sorts, and of saints who are intermediaries between us and the big god. And there's also things like communion and all that. And anyway, the point is that it can be done, and people have done it before, and most flavors of Christianity that we have today are influenced by paganism. So it's totally possible. Don't let anybody say that it's not. I do accept that, like, a lot of the combinations have arisen from either people being forced to accept Christianity by whatever government has latched onto it and made it tyrannical, or the church's attempts to combine pagan practice into it to make it more appealing to the people that they're trying to convert. But the point is that it's being done now, and people seem to like it, so there's no saying that it is not fulfilling. In fact, it probably is to some people. Also, one good thing to keep in mind is that when you go about making your own flavor of Christopaganism, to keep in mind that it's dictated by your own personal beliefs. It's between you and God and no one else. You need to work out what's right for you. You need to pray about it, meditate on it, read all you can. You need to really just think it over, assess what you really believe and how you can apply that to whatever religions in general you're trying to incorporate into your own spiritual practice. Think for yourself, and while you can definitely take others for inspiration, don't take their word for anything, because really, like I said, it's between you and God, and everybody's different, and everybody's views of God are different. So there is really no absolute truth, in my opinion. And that's just my advice to people. A lot of people might ask why somebody would want to do this, and once again, there's no easy answer for that, but some general things that a lot of people have said are the need for the divine feminine in their lives, the balance between masculine and feminine, and the Godhead. And traditional Christianity doesn't really have that, so they need to find that outside their church or their upbringing. There's also a deep connection to nature. Let me check the time. Okay. That some people feel that they need to have nature in more in their practice because they feel spiritually fulfilled by it. Also, some Christians might need a little bit more in terms of worship than clapping their hands and singing songs in church. They might need to find more venues of thanking God and praising their idea of God. And so paganism can assist that. It can create more venues of worship that might appeal to some people who are drawn to Christopaganism. In general, Christians who try to incorporate paganism into their practice, they feel like they need something more than what their current religion is giving them. However, they probably don't feel like they've had a horrible experience with their current religion, so they don't really want to give up on it entirely. That's what happened with me. I didn't like church. I didn't get anything out of going to it, but my gods never steered me wrong, the gods of my upbringing, and so I felt no real need to give up on them. Maybe to explore venues outside of them, but they were still a very important part of my life, and I just couldn't give them up. And a lot of people are like that. I'm getting really close to the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to continue this in a new video.